Awesome. Yes. So I'm Kristina Nolan. I'm the Vice President of Media Services at DMI Partners. DMI is a full service digital marketing agency. So we offer all of your traditional digital services. However, we really specialize in affiliate marketing and what we call CRM marketing, but also email marketing. And so that's really our sweet spot. And we represent all different types of advertisers. A significant amount of Fortune 500 brands are managed by us, but also we like to work with different startups that are just beginning their journey as e-commerce companies. So super excited to be here today.
Awesome. Thanks, Rashina. On that note, let's start with a thought with respect to when did affiliate marketing really take its place in the media mix, right? Especially in an e-commerce business. Was it before COVID? Was it initial part of COVID? Uh, when did you guys see that, you know, as creators came in, as more people started to create more content, was it the need of monetization, obviously, which helped? And more e-commerce companies leveraging people's passion and then promoting the product. So when did affiliate marketing become a thing?
It's a really interesting question. And actually, the concept of affiliate marketing, which is really working with different types of partners on a commission or performance basis, has been around really since e-commerce has been around. And it goes back to even when Amazon was first created, and they worked with different types of sellers on a pure performance basis in order to kind of get goods on the platform. However, it's adapted substantially over the course of the last 20 plus years. And in particularly, I think COVID created a monumental movement for the affiliate channel in general. I think thinking about COVID, there was obviously a huge shift in consumer behavior,
Mhm.
and new spending habits that haven't changed, even though we're in a post-pandemic world. And I mean, just to give an example there, I historically went to the grocery store every single week as part of my routine to get groceries for my household. In the pandemic, though, I started using Instacart and created a new habit that has now stayed with me and now is the new norm for me in a post-pandemic world. And obviously, most of the habits that were created in COVID are now the new norm. And a lot of them were focused on e-commerce. And that's where we saw such an increased demand for e-commerce goods. And we've all heard the phrase like a rising tide lifts all ships.
Mhm.
And that's really what happened with affiliate. As there was more consumers shopping online, advertisers started thinking about their marketing mix in a much different way, especially as it related to cost, because there was so much uncertainty in the world then, that a lot of advertisers were looking to make sure that they were being mindful of the costs that were going out the door. And affiliate reaped benefits there, considering it
Right.
is one of the most cost effective channels.
Right.
And so we're still reaping the benefits of that today. I think more so than ever before. Again, during that time, affiliate got more of a seat at the table than it ever has and started to be considered kind of like a must have in marketers' channel mixes. And we haven't really come back down from that because,
Mhm.
again, people are realizing how affiliate can accomplish a multitude of marketing goals while remaining one of the most cost effective channels. Um,
Right.
I'd
So,
say,
yeah.
um, yeah, so I'd say it has a deep rooted history, but more so over the course of the last couple of years, it's really come into its own and been a marketing channel that's been taken much more seriously.
Have you guys seen in every e-commerce company taking this road? Especially when do you think people should go for affiliates?
Yeah.
Is it their initial stages or later stages when people know the brand and it's easier more to sell the product with other influencers or blended campaigns, both from the brand and the influencer side of the table?
Yeah, so in a pre-pandemic world, we would talk to really established brands that didn't even know what affiliate was. It's really rare that we have those types of conversations now. In most cases, it's a part of an established marketing mix. However, in terms of like when you should get started, I think because it is the most cost-effective marketing channel, it can be a really good opportunity for brands to get started right away. But I think what's important to consider is the fact that affiliate is really a payment model. And so it's how you choose to partner with different types of entities, influencers, media partners, and agree on kind of the pricing that works to get in front of the audiences that those different properties have. And so thinking about it like that, there's a lot of opportunity you can tap into in the affiliate world, even as a startup brand.
Yeah.
However, before it makes sense to kind of build a foundation with different types of technology partners and agencies and things like that, we definitely recommend that you have a footing in terms of your brand awareness
Mhm.
before kind of investing in different types of options that will help fuel your affiliate growth. But again, you need to be able to have like a healthy base in terms of your brand awareness and what you're already doing in terms of e-commerce revenue before we recommend that you make those types of longer tail investments.
Right. So let's come to the fundamentals of setting up the program and primarily going toward the market. Uh, I think one of the main things which a good affiliate partner or anybody who is designing this should look at is primarily one is the pricing model of it. Second is choosing their initial affiliates to work with is primary importance, and then obviously understanding uh, how do you measure primarily any sort of proposition made that can be, hey, uh, do no matter how much posts you do, I really don't care. But there's the because this is the amount of sales I'm requiring from you to be able to, give you that commission possible. So how do you see people have approached, especially the setting up? Was there any, you know, uh, breaks when setting up that program? What has been the learnings, especially with your portfolio companies, when
Yep.
they're just setting it up?
I think first and foremost is making you sure that you choose the right technology partner. That's really where like the tracking starts and be. So first and foremost, like finding the right technology partner. So again, that's where the foundation of your program is built. So you want to make sure that whatever your goals are as a business, that technology partner can support that. And so we've had instances where brands wanted to track certain parameters across the customer journey, but the technology partner that they decided to really start the program with wasn't able to track those instances. Um, and so it's really crucial that you're aligning on that first and foremost, because again, that is where the foundation of the program is built. And it's not a one size fits all approach. Different technology partners have different capabilities to offer brands. And so ensuring that you're picking the right one is crucial to making sure you start off on the right
So
foot.
what do these guys offer?
Yeah, so there's a couple of ones in the market. I mean, we're partnered with we consider ourselves network agnostic, so we partner with all of them, but there's Impact, Commission Junction, Rakuten, ShareASale, Refersion, and there's different ones that we really recommend depending on the size of the business and again what their goals are. And they
Mhm.
offer everything from like the partnership base, like what type of affiliates are in their platform that can sign up to programs and start generating sales, to different types of attribution technologies. So you have the reporting that you need to understand where the partner falls in the marketing mix. Are they a partner that's influencing top of the funnel? Are they a partner that is really sitting at the bottom of the funnel? They have different types of commissioning capabilities. And so your ability to partner with different affiliates and enhance the value you're getting from them from a commission perspective. So Are you deciding to commission only on new customers? Are you deciding to have kind of a hybrid model where you're commissioning on new and repeating? All of those different types of things are important to make sure that you're aligning with the technology partner on to understand their capabilities.
Right.
So that's really like the first step. The second step is aligning on like a recruitment strategy. We've also talked to brands that set up in a technology platform and think that once they do that, they're going to start seeing sales. And that's really just not how it works. Affiliate's a very relationship-based channel. And so you need to understand who you should be reaching out to in terms of what's best for your brand, targeting high quality affiliates that again align with your brand ethos, and then establishing clear criteria to like ensure compatibility. So that's another kind of major step in the process of creating a healthy program. We
Mhm.
also encourage brands to create like a diversified strategy. And so there are a bunch of different types of affiliate partners. There's media partners, there's loyalty partners, coupon partners, influencers, corporate benefit platforms. The list really goes on and on. And oftentimes when we're auditing a program, we see that a brand has invested too heavily in one type of partnership category, or that their top 5 affiliates make up 90% of program revenue. And a healthy strategy is a diversified strategy. So making sure that you're not over-indexed in either one type of partnership category or a few partners is
Mhm.
also crucial.
Mhm.
Um, and then alongside that, making sure your commission rates are competitive. You
Mhm.
obviously want to create a program that is going to result in an extremely healthy ROI, but in the same vein, you want to make sure the program is set up for revenue success. And in order to do that, you need to make sure you're competitive, because a lot of times what affiliate partners are doing is they're filtering for a certain type of product or vertical, seeing what brands are offering what type of commission rates, and deciding to promote the brand with the highest commission rate. And so you just want to make sure that you don't lose out on opportunity to be promoted by affiliates because your commission rate is too low.
Right.
Um, and then
And
lastly, just making sure you're like testing and iterating from there. Not every partner is going to perform in the way that you want them to right off the bat. However, working with them to understand potentially why performance right off the bat was lackluster, understanding their audience and how you can speak to them in a way that makes more sense, will help you create evergreen relationships and a more turnkey approach with those affiliates that results in stronger sales. So just making sure that you're consistently communicating with those affiliate partners to figure out what more can be done, and get them activated to the best of their potential.
wow, okay, that gave a playbook already by itself. Uh, Thanks, Rishina, for that. Second, when it comes to okay, you've closed on an affiliate. Is it important from the brand side to really audit the content which is going out from the affiliate side of the table with their product, because uh, they care about how it's sold
Yeah,
towards the end customers? Or should we leave it as a ownership that, hey, affiliates know what they're doing, and there is a fine line between both of them, because some of them will really take it as a ego hit, and then they won't work with you. So how do you handle this scenario?
I totally agree. And it's a bit complicated to navigate. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that the media partners, especially that are promoting the brand, are speaking to their audience in like the way that their audience comes to them for. So a way that
Right.
their audience resonates with. And if we control too much of that, it doesn't sound authentic.
Right.
And so what we really recommend is brands put together a list of talking points and brand guidelines that we can provide different affiliate partners with, so they can better be informed about how that brand speaks to their consumer base. And then it's really up to the media partners to marry those brand guidelines with how they speak to their consumers and making sure that there's synergy across the board. But at the end of the day, both are important. Again, we want to make sure that there isn't outlandish content being produced about the brand that just isn't accurate or isn't the way that the brand would want to be featured. But we also want to make sure that we're not dictating that to the point where we're making it sound like an ad or sound inauthentic to the consumer base that we're trying to target. And so trying to create a marriage there is important.
Got it. Okay, cool. So I have an interesting scenario to give to you. So let's say you're handling, for example, a big brand like Hershey's, right? And you're running affiliate program for them, and you're running paid, acquisition and retention for them. So, and you're doing it on TikTok, right? And on one end, you have affiliates talking about Hershey's and all the new Kisses products that they're giving, and there's on the other end you have all of your ads running. Now there comes a problem because you have two big paid programs running, and everything has different goals, everything is contributing top of the funnel. Some of it is giving sales, some of it is giving brand impressions. So there's a lot of I would say problems with attributing this, which is going on, and each of the team is trying to figure out, wait, how did this sales come from? Is it from paid? Is it from affiliate? Right. So have you seen these scenarios, especially within your clients? Like, how have you dealt this kind of problems, especially when you're putting in budgets for these two programs?
Yeah, it's definitely something that pops up frequently. And what I'd say is, first of all, it's really important brands are investing in an attribution platform.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of times where we speak to brands and they're concerned about attribution, but they have no data to showcase to them kind of what we need in order to make decisions on what is and isn't most fruitful.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first step. The second step, if a brand is using an attribution platform, is to determine where we're seeing overlap amongst those two channels. And so, are we seeing that consumers are discovering the product from a paid social ad? However, we're seeing affiliate come in at the bottom of the funnel and take that sale, or vice versa. So, really
Right.
understanding how both of those channels are interacting with each other. And with attribution technologies, you can see that level of data. So you can click on an order and understand what channels that consumer interacted with before they ultimately made their purchase.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do some testing from there. So there are times we decide, okay, we're going to turn off the paid social ads in an as a whole and see what that does to the affiliate channel, and vice versa. Potentially, we decide to turn off some of the influencer activations we're doing on TikTok, and see how that affects performance of paid social. And so I think there's a lot of different testing you can do to determine what is making the most incremental impact.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, it's also understanding what the brand's goals are as it relates to incrementality and what they're expecting both of those channels to be producing. And so I think aligning on kind of metrics of success for both of those channels and how they work together is key. And
Mm-hmm.
then making sure you're doing some testing and have the data that you need to determine whether they're incremental or not.
Awesome. Can you share us maybe one or two case studies from DMI? The best of your portfolios, especially when it comes to affiliate, and how was it panned out for them?
Yeah, of course. I'd say so we have a bunch of different success stories, thankfully. But one of the ones that I think about to this day is we had a brand, and I can actually name them. They're called
Sure.
Rastelli's. And they historically sold meat and seafood to restaurants. So they were not an e-commerce business. However, what DMI did was, as a full service agency, we were able to help them create an e-commerce experience. So we helped support them in creating their D2C business. And that D2C business operated as a startup. It was the first time they were reaching consumers. Consumers themselves had never heard about the brand, even though they had probably had Ristelli's at a restaurant in some fashion, and so there was a lot of awareness to be created. And where they decided to heavily invest in affiliate just because there were budgeting limitations in the beginning, and they realized the potential of the affiliate channel to be their most cost effective way at reaching new consumers. And so one of the first things we did was look at certain search terms that we felt had high intent for the brand. So best seafood, best meat delivery to your door, things like that. And we looked at the articles that were ranking highly for those key intent search terms. And upon doing so, we had very strong relationships with the media properties that were writing content that was ranking highly for those key intent search terms. And so we reached out to those partners to figure out how we could get them boxes of Ristelli's to try to see if there was the potential for those products to be able to make it into those roundups and listicles that were ranking highly for those key intent search terms. And there was a lot of synergy there. There was also a lot of people at the time searching for those products because we were in COVID times where people were looking to get groceries delivered to their door, as we talked about. So that was one of the first strategies. But the second strategy was really partnering with go-to influencers that people followed to get certain day-to-day recipes for their lives. And so we looked at a lot of the different types of influencers that were creating that content that had a large following that could get Ristelli's name out there. And we partnered with them on a performance basis to create different types of content that fit very nicely into their organic recipe content to reach a different types of consumers. And then we partnered with your more traditional affiliate partners. So different loyalty partners, coupon partners, different types of bloggers, again, to be able to reach a general consumer base. And we also did some B2B partnerships. We partnered with Sunbasket, who historically has not provided meat to their audience base, but more so like the kind of like a Home Chef where it's like subscription based where you get certain ingredients but you don't get a lot of protein add-ons. So we created a very successful affiliate partnership with them in a B2B capacity. And over time, the affiliate channel grew to make up over 40% of their total e-commerce revenue. So it was a very important and valued channel for them. And we were able to see over time how we were making a dent in the form of how many people knew about Ristelli's. And so that was probably one of the brands I'm most proud of, just because we took that from being a brand that was from scratch that nobody had heard of to very successful over the course of 3 or so years.
Okay, let's answer two questions here. What is the easy part of running an affiliate program, and what's the difficult part of running an affiliate program?
Ooh, easy is tough just because it is such a manual partnership channel. But I'd say once you really understand, once you partner with the technology and understand their capabilities, some of the day-to-day happenings that you have to do in terms of maintenance are relatively easy. So, and they try to make it as automated as possible, but in terms of sending newsletters, approving partners, and things that, again, you have to keep up with within those technology platforms in order to be able to say that your program is well maintained. Those are kind of the easy day-to-day things. The things that are more challenging are creating those strong relationships. I know I said this in the beginning, but you're not just going to turn on the channel and see sales. You have to figure out how to get creative to continue to get partners to create evergreen content on behalf of your brand, especially with the media partners, because so many people are trying to like vie for their attention and get included in those roundups, that they have thousands and thousands of people reaching out to their editors on a daily basis. And so what are the ways that you can stand out to be able to capture their attention so they're interested in writing content on behalf of your brand? I'd say really that's the most difficult, challenging part.
Right. So since an e-commerce brand looks at multi-channel approach nowadays, especially being everywhere, right? That can be TikTok, that can be email, that can be blog, that can be Meta. All of these places obviously are brewing with creators. Everybody is becoming a media house right now, and everybody is primarily making money out of either selling ads. I don't think that is future anymore anyways. Affiliates are the more better way to go because there's a more linkage to the story and what you write and what your audience loves as well. So when it comes to the media mix in the affiliate world, right, uh, which do you think the brands are more wanting to go for initially, and then which do you think are better measurable when it comes to the output which is generated out of these channels?
So in terms of like building a brand, brands are most interested in partners that what we call discovery partners. So partners that are reaching the consumer for the very first time when it comes to product discovery. And so those are the media partners that we've talked a lot about, but those partners that are creating roundups and listicles that are either like, I tried this product, here is what I thought, or the top 5 best gifts to get your dad for Father's Day, things like
Mm.
that. So, um, uh, different types of content that has a lot of branding behind it. But it can also be influencers, which we have data at our disposal to know that they're really starting a significant amount of customer journeys, and bloggers as well. So those are the types of partners that brands are really eager to be testing into. And I'd say a newer category that is emerging in terms of thinking about performance and what can drive substantial revenue in a short period of time, are what we call card linked programs, which are really the major credit card companies. So when I log into my PNC banking app now, I'm presented with a number of different types of brands offering me an incentive to shop with them. So different types of cashback rates. And those types of partners have a tremendous amount of targeting capabilities because they have data at their disposal to understand how each consumer is shopping, what type of products they like, how often they're making purchases, what their purchase value typically is. And so that's a type of category that is driving a lot of performance that I would say is emerging in the affiliate channel that is going to pick up a lot of momentum over the course of the next couple years. But that's really how we typically think about it, is like which partners are driving discovery and starting the shopping journey, and then which partners over time are helping consumers kind of pull the trigger on making that purchase. They've discovered the brand. They're also probably looking at the brand's competitors to determine which is the best fit for them. And so how do we capture them along their customer journey so at the end of the day they pick they pick that brand, and that brand has the opportunity to kind of gain market share over their competitors.
Right. Uh, do you also, I don't know, suggest a lot of e-commerce brands to create an affiliate community after some time to primarily manage them, keep them updated of the new product launches, and then all sorts of seasonality campaigns planned across, because it's a nice way, which I feel, which it can brew for the brand. And I see a lot of people doing this very internally, not so externally, under the affiliate program banner. And how is it panning out for brands with this approach?
Yeah, we definitely have brands that kind of create communities within their affiliate programs. And that looks a little bit differently for each brand. Some of our brands actually create like Facebook groups. So those affiliates can talk about what is working, what isn't working, what more support they need from the brand. But some of our brands also create incentive programs. And so what incentive programs can look like is there are different types of targets that as an affiliate, you're essentially trying to reach. And at different target level, you get different benefits to working for that brand. And so
Right.
it could be that if you're driving 0 to 50 sales in a given month, you have a dedicated account, a dedicated manager at the brand that's working with you to support you with different types of creative and materials. It could be that beyond 50 sales, you're being a part of their like product distribution list. And so each month you're getting access to new products and the brand is shipping you products for free. It could be that beyond $100 sales per month, you're getting bonused in addition to the commission rate that you're offering. And so that's another way that we see our brands kind of fostering community with their affiliates and encouraging them to continue to promote the brand and feel close to the brand.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Let's just come to the last part and the curious part, especially how when DMI is primarily approaching a client and selling all sorts of affiliate services, how do you guys what do you guys do from setting up the program, scaling it up? Like, is it a full stack affiliate service? How does it work?
Yeah, it's a full stacked affiliate service. I mean, truly one of the things that I believe that we're best in the world at is helping brands secure the type of content that we talked about. We just have incredible relationships with media partners, and we have a lot of people on our team that whose careers have focused on that. And so
Mhm.
we have really deep rooted relationships with those partners to understand how they talk to their audience. And so understanding that, we know how to pitch to them in a
Right,
way that gets our brands included within that most coveted content.
right.
And so that's really one of the ways that we differentiate and a place where we spend a lot of our resources as a company.
Mm.
However, we also understand how the rest of the affiliates affect the channel. And so, and again, we believe in a diversified program. And so we
Mhm.
strategically layer in those other types of partners to create the most incremental program as possible. But soup to nuts, we do it all in the affiliate world in terms of getting the right technology set up, making sure you have a diversified program, and then making sure that that program grows over time because it's one thing to be able to create a program that's driving a substantial amount of revenue, but what does that strategy look like in terms of like the next 5 years, and how are you going to continue to impact growth over time once you're working with all of like the tried and true affiliates? That's a whole nother layer that we help brands think about.
All right. Uh, After some say, especially in e-commerce, right? So a lot of people work in niche verticals, right? Like let's say, for example, you're selling a beachwear, right? For example, and it's a very niche vertical, and there's not many people who talk about the lifestyle of being in beach and chilling out and all of that stuff. And then you will find a scenario where there'll only be, say, 100 affiliates for you to work with. And then a lot of brands, obviously, in the same space are attacking them, right? Now, it's upon you as a brand to win trust, for one, and yeah, you can play that through branding and you can play that through the proposal that you came across. But how tough does it get for brands to really even onboard affiliates, especially in a niche uh, industry or a space that they're in? And when they reach the saturation, what happens then? There's no more affiliates. Does it become just a one-off tried and tested approach and we can't really scale this thing, or there is a innovative way where they kind of like go on a more of a co-partnership angle with another affiliate and then see if that can open up doors for them.
Yep. So, with different types of niche products, I think it's first important to understand like where else the consumer is shopping, and how you can reach them in those places. It does get fairly competitive, and honestly, I think that's actually an opportunity where niche brands end up doing a good job standing out. Where it's hard is with like ultra saturated verticals.
Right.
So brands that like retail brands, for example, where there's thousands and thousands of companies that are selling sneakers. That's where it gets much harder for a brand to win. However, a lot of those brands tend to have a little bit more flexibility in terms of budget and spend, that they can flex their muscles with when it comes to working with affiliate partners. And then when you've reached a point of saturation within like the current affiliate ecosystem, I definitely encourage brands to think outside of the box and remind them that affiliate is a channel, but it's also like a payment model. And so, how can you figure out other places that your audience lives and work with those different places on a commission basis?
Mhm.
And that's where we've had a lot of success with like brand to brand partnerships. And so, reaching out to brands that have a like-minded audience base, but are non-competitive, to figure out how both of those brands can tap into each other's current audience base. And we can do that through different like giveaways. So creating a social giveaway where we're able to capture different types of like email addresses and consumer information for consumers that are signing up for those giveaways. We can do it with co-branded newsletters, tapping into the brand's different CRM. So there's a lot of different ways that we can activate co-branded partnerships, but that's a way that we encourage brands to think outside of the box when
Right.
they think they've reached a place where they're at capacity in the traditional affiliate world.
Awesome. Thanks, Rishina. This was a great one. Folks, I hope you had a good run understanding not just how the affiliate program works, but getting into the nitty-gritties of solving for setting it up, scaling it up, and what do you do in different scenarios. We covered most of it. So, yeah, so full and final, I think reach out to Kristina from DMI for anything you need to do with affiliate program. And yes, hope you had a good run. Hope you had a good day. Go and implement all of these. Talk about to your friends. Talk about it wherever you're active on social media. And yeah, tag Christina, tag me, tag Lifesight, tag DMI when you're listening to this. And yeah, hope you had a good day.
Thank you so much.